Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Verghese Abraham. First up, Telangana Congress President Revanth Reddy is going to be sworn in a short while as the next Chief Minister of Telangana. Now, one Deputy Chief Minister and 8 others will be in fact swearing in as long with him. Revanth will be the second Chief Minister of Telangana after BRS Chief K.C. Rao. The party has chosen Revanth as the leader of the Congress Legislative Party in Telangana. The party is now finalizing the team of ministers in the Revanth cabinet with Batti Vikramarka and Uttam Reddy vying for the post of the Deputy Chief Minister.
कांग्रेस पार्टी की नीतियों की जीत है। ये जीत सोनिया गांधी जी की, राहुल गांधी जी की, प्रियंका जी की, खड़गे जी की जीत है। ये जीत रेवंत रेड्डी जी के संघर्ष की जीत है और हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि आज एक नया अध्याय तेलंगाना के इतिहास में, एक न्यू चैप्टर एंड तेलंगाना देश में विकास के रास्ते पे आगे पहुंचे, सबसे आगे पहुंचे, ऐसी शुभकामनाएं तेलंगाना की नई सरकार को हम दे रहे हैं।
Well, to discuss more about this, we are in fact joined in by our guests. We have with us K.S. Prasad, who is a political analyst, and we have Bhanuchandra Nagarajan, who is also a political analyst, who in fact joins us. Let me go to K.S. Prasad first of all. A change in Telangana, the Congress has been able to make it. Historically, isn't the Congress the party that is also in fact tied with the formation of Telangana? So you had the TRS, now the BRS, and then you had the Congress coming up. But historically, it looks like the Congress also did play the role in the formation of Telangana. Was that the kind of sentiment that could also be seen on the ground when they said it's time to give Congress a chance in Telangana? Mr. Prasad?
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today, let me congratulate to Congress for forming government. And Revanth Reddy deserves to be a chief minister because the way he has fought for his Congress, and today the swearing ceremony is nothing but his success. Almost 40 plus candidates whom he has picked and he has given an opportunity to be an MLA. Today, they are all been successfully won their constituencies. And the seniors in Nalgonda, the Reddy prospectus have been flourished and they have shown the success in Nalgonda, Khammam and Warangal and as well as Mahabub Nagar. These are all the success story of Congress. And today, after 10 years, they are able to form the government and they have given 6 promises how they are going to fulfill the challenge. But even after, people are given verdict for their this thing, and the promises have been very, very much attractive to the people around, and that's why they got the government, and the challenges will be taken by Congress. And this is the first ever time after forming Telangana, we have given an opportunity to Congress. The 10 years against the wind for Congress today, they made it possible.
Well, we have with us also Mr. Bhanuchandra who's joining us. Mr. Bhanuchandra, how do you see this particular aspect of kind of a change that we see in Telangana? Also, we must understand this Congress was not the technical Congress that was in existence when, the state came into formation and when the first elections were held. That Congress, most of those leaders had gone to the TRS. But this is technically a new crop of leaders who've come in. These are people who have had to fight against the grain to find out whether they would be able to be relevant, and then they have come with a victory like this. So this is probably a Congress that has evolved out of the old legacy more or such in that state, isn't it?
So the formation of Telangana, the split of Andhra Pradesh is a very emotional issue both in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and there are many takers for the claims of who formed Telangana. So that's a different story altogether. I think what brought the Congress to power were 2 things. One, there was massive anti-incumbency against the BRS, and the second is the BJP, which was on the resurgence early this year, left off their advantage due to an organizational change that they made in the middle of the campaign. So I think more of anti-BRS, anti-government sentiment that brought the Congress to power. But I think kudos to Revanth, first generation politician. He's taking over, and we had a fair democratic process. So hats off to them for the victory. But I think he will be carrying his Saridan and Amritanjan to the swearing-in ceremony because his headaches have already begun, as we see with the videos that are being floated in the social media. I think his other Congress leaders, I fear, are actually feeding the other opposition with such information, and the legal case, the anti-corruption case, is going to come against him. That's against him will find judgment on January 5th with the Supreme Court. So I think a lot of headaches are there as he swears in today.
So, Mr. K. Prasad, of course, we know that Telangana being a new state, there are a lot of challenges as such. There's a lot of aspirational issues that are also there. One is about the industrialization of Telangana beyond Hyderabad. We are talking about the other 10 districts and the carving of new districts, and also to bring out the economic potentials of them. So, do you think that the economic factor and the, the aspiration factor is something that the chief minister, the new chief minister, will have to look into? Because most of them, of course, we've seen the change in the parties, but most of them actually would have voted for a change where you can see the economic factor in place. So the economic factor is something that is being looked into. So it would that be the first challenge for Revanth Reddy, that is to deliver economic growth outside Hyderabad? Mr. Prasad?
Yeah. The thing is, the biggest challenges for IT sector and all these 10 years under the KT Ramarao, how it has been flourished. The same challenges has to be faced by Congress. I don't know who is going to get that IT minister. And coming into the industrialization, we are all been waiting for the new opportunities as far as young generations are concerned. We are about 10 lakh people who are waiting for the jobs and who are really in need of. And apart from all that, the promises and the challenges what Congress is accepted for 6 promises, what they did, the budget needs to be permitted because it is 1,33,400 crores what budget is versus the challenges what they have promised is almost 1,77,800 crores. So these are all things will definitely matters, as my friend told. This really they are in need of Amurtanjan to rub their heads to get rid of some sort of financial pressures. I don't know. They may get rid of headaches, but I don't know what sort of financial pressures will get relief, because the center that the Congress is not there, and unfortunately, they need to sail against the wind. That is with BJP.
But
And
there is
how the
enough and more
coordination
revenue in
between-
Telangana, isn't it? If you look at the state coffers, it's not completely empty. There are revenues coming into the state coffers. The question is, will it be more spending that would deplete it, or the question is it will be less spending that would conserve at the same time meet with your constituency demands? So I think that is the fine balance, isn't it? I'll just take that question to Bhanuchandra as well.
See, definitely, Telangana is one of the richest states in India. It's perhaps like among the top three largest, among the largest states, is among the top three in terms of per capita income. I think it's around 60% higher than the national income. So that is that. But there are two issues. One is the state debt to GDP is at 28%. Okay, the FRBM says that it's not be more than 20%. So the financial position is not as strong as people think, but it's definitely a high revenue state, being Hyderabad being one of the prime movers of Indian economy and so on. But definitely there are challenges, and like what my fellow panelists were saying, the 6 guarantees is going to take a lot of financial toll. We have to. You see a similar problem happening in Karnataka. They also have Bangalore, one of the richest states. They also are struggling to implement these guarantees. So I think it is going to be a very difficult challenge. But most importantly, I would say that the challenge would be because they have a slender majority, politics is going to take precedence over governance. So Revanth has to keep looking behind his shoulder to see who's out to topple him. You can actually ask the losing chief ministers of the other three states, Gehlot, Baghel, and even Kamalnath before that, they were so engrossed in the politics and who's going to do what and who's going to stab him in the back, that the governance took a backseat. So that's actually going to be the important challenge.
All right. In fact, let me just describe some of the visuals that are coming in from LB Stadium. It is a packed stadium as of today, and we have Mallikarjun Kharge, we have Sonia Gandhi, we have the senior leadership of the Congress present at the LB Stadium for the swearing-in ceremony. Sonia Gandhi just had arrived, and she spoke with, had a small word with DK Shivkumar, the other strongman from Karnataka for the Congress, and there were small talks that were carried out with the possible ministers as well, who would be sworn in together. So, of course, challenges are there for the new government, a young state, a vibrant state, and a state with a lot of aspirations. And, of course, yesterday there was a doubt whether Sonia Gandhi might attend. She said it probably she will, and today she has in fact gone ahead and come for the swearing-in ceremony at LB Stadium of Revanth Reddy. These are the visuals, live visuals coming in from the location. We have AICC President Mallikarjun Kharge also on the stage, and the leadership of the Congress is present on the stage for the swearing-in ceremony. Words are being exchanged between some of those leaders, and there we have in fact Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi also entering the stadium. They will be led to the dais in a short while. These are visuals coming in from the swearing-in ceremony that is going to be taking place in LB Stadium. Revanth Reddy, the man of the moment for Telangana, the person who's in fact brought Congress to power in Telangana. He'll be the second Chief Minister of the state of Telangana after KCR. There we have Rahul Gandhi as well as Priyanka Gandhi now, in fact, coming into the LB Stadium area and now moving towards the stage with their security cover also in place. They are being now escorted to the stage at LB Stadium. In fact, the crowds are also there cheering on, and we have the top leadership
Government of Telangana
also
is privileged to
of the Congress at
welcome
the
many dignitaries
stadium.
from all the way from
Uttam
Delhi. They
Reddy
have
also on the
With an
dais,
affectionate
the
gesture
second
they
most
have
important
come.
leader right
So,
now in
Telangana is
Telangana
happy to
for the
receive you
Congress.
here, please. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, and all the citizens of Telangana are welcoming to this historic occasion as we gather to witness the swearing ceremony of the dynamic leader, Mr. Revanth Reddy ji, who will take charge as the Chief Minister of Telangana. Known for his charismatic leadership, Revanth Reddy Garu has played a pivotal role in spearheading the campaign, resonating with the aspirations of the people of Telangana. His journey reflects a deep understanding of grassroots issues and a determination to bring about positive change. On the national front, the presence of many stalwarts, many great leaders adds significance to this ceremony. The presence of many stalwarts, many great leaders adds significance to this ceremony. Amma, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi Amma, the guiding force behind all this team, has been a symbol of resilience and leadership. Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji, with his dynamic approach, has been at the forefront of shaping the team's vision. Of this occasion, ఇంతమంది వేదికపైకి వచ్చారంటే ఈ సందర్భానికి ఎంత ప్రాధాన్యత ఉందో మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవచ్చు. Their very presence of here in this occasion highlighting the unity and strength of the team. Together, these leaders represent a diverse and inclusive vision for India, fostering a sense of hope and progress for the nation's future under the leadership of, under state's future under the leadership of our CM designate Sri Revanth Reddy ji. ఇది ఎంతో
Well, that was in fact the top leadership of the Congress on the dais ahead of the swearing in. We are expecting the swearing in to take place in a short while. Revanth Reddy also making it to the dais and to probably the section where the swearing in is going to take place, being escorted by the security services over there in LB Stadium. This is the big Congress swearing-in ceremony in Telangana that is going to take place in a short while. Well, I have with us K.S. Prasad, who's a political analyst, as well as Banu Chandra, who's also joining us. K.S. Prasad, of course, we saw the entire Congress leadership there. It was actually one of those consolations that you have got after the 4 state elections. But Telangana being very important as a state for the Congress, it has in fact showed that it has got a base in the state and that it has been able to be a credible opposition. But rightly pointed out that though it was not the front runner, it has been able to become a party that can that helped in the formation of a government there. Now, there are several social welfare schemes that were being announced. You have the 6 guarantees, and of course, we were talking about the money that is required for it. And we're talking about whether you'll find that money or not. K.S. Prasad, how do you in fact see those guarantees? Were the guarantees one of the significant factors that propelled Congress to power in Telangana?
Yeah, the first time they got the opportunity to form the government as far as Congress is concerned. This is the challenge they need to accept, and they have, I don't know what sort of background work they have done as far as statistics are concerned. Because the state budget, it is very clear and evident that it is 1,34,400 crores, what the receipts are. And against the expenditures, the promise what he has done for 15,000 rupees to the farmers is the first challenge he has to make. Because for the last 2 days before, because of the election commission, they got an excuse, and in a couple of days they need to do it first on priority. Right, the Bandhu is concerned. So coming into this, the pension, what they promised, so all of a sudden it's 3 times compared to the existing one. So these are all the financial challenges, what Congress is about to. And apart from all that, this is the wedding season is about to come in the next month onwards. This season itself is started. So almost 1 lakh plus another, what's the cost of gold? They promised 1 tula gold for each marriage. So these are all the biggest challenges they accepted from people. They believe, first of all, what promises have been delivered to the people and how they are going to fulfill. That is the challenge has to be accepted by Congress. Where this particular government, we have given the Telangana, and Sonia Amma is our mother and all, we have believed. But coming into this last 2 elections, they didn't get any opportunity. They failed to form the governments. This under the Revanth Reddy's, this thing, they have shown the different dimensions as far as rural segment is concerned. That's why they conquered, particularly from the 4 districts. And apart from all that, the work of Congress, it is under the leadership of Revanth Reddy, it has taken a different dimensions, and they've shown the success by forming this. I don't know, coming in days, the challenges needs to be. Otherwise, the Congress has to give a different answer to the people around.
Well, we have the Governor, Tamilisai Soundarajan, who has also just arrived in. Soon we will be having the swearing-in ceremony taking place. In fact, Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, who has also come for the swearing-in ceremony. Followed by KJ George also there. These are the live visuals coming in from LB Stadium. Tamilisai Soundarajan having a word with Revanth Reddy. Just ahead of the swearing in, we are expecting the swearing in ceremony to take place soon. This is the scene from LB Stadium. The MC, in fact, starting off the...
Honorable Governor, Madam, I may kindly be permitted to commence the proceedings, please. With the kind permission of Honorable Governor, Madam, I request the Honorable Chief Minister Designate of the State of Telangana, Sri Anumula Revanth Reddy Garu, to take the oath of office and secrecy. I request the Honorable Governor, Madam, to kindly administer the oath of office and secrecy to Sri Anumula Revanth Reddy Garu, Chief Minister Designate of the State of Telangana.
Anumula Revanth Reddy ane nenu శాసనం ద్వారా నిర్మితమైన భారత రాజ్యాంగం పట్ల నిజమైన విశ్వాసం విధేయత చూపుతానని భారతదేశ సార్వభౌమాధికారాన్ని సమగ్రతను కాపాడుతానని తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా నా కర్తవ్యాన్ని శ్రద్ధతో అంతఃకరణ చిత్తశుద్ధితో నిర్వహిస్తానని భయం గాని పక్షపాతం గాని రాగద్వేషాలు గాని లేకుండా రాజ్యాంగాన్ని శాసనాలను అనుసరించి ప్రజలందరికీ న్యాయం చేకూరుస్తానని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను. రేవంత్ రెడ్డి అనే నేను తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా నా పరిశీలనకు వచ్చిన లేదా నాకు తెలియవచ్చిన ఏ విషయాన్ని నా కర్తవ్యాలను సక్రమంగా నిర్వహించేందుకు అవసరమైన మేరకే తప్ప ప్రత్యక్షంగా గాని పరోక్షంగా గాని ఏ వ్యక్తికి లేదా వ్యక్తులకు తెలియపరచనని లేదా వెల్లడించనని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
I read out the names of Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and Honorable Ministers Designate of the State of Telangana to take the oath of office and oath of secrecy. Now I the State of Telangana to take the oath of office and oath of secrecy. Now I request the Honorable Governor Madam to kindly administer the oath of office to the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Designate and Honorable Ministers Designate of the State of Telangana. Sri Batti Vikramarkulu Garu, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister. అనే నేను
బట్టి విక్రమార్క మల్లు అనే నేను శాసనం ద్వారా నిర్మితమైన భారత రాజ్యాంగం పట్ల నిజమైన విశ్వాసం విధేయత చూపుతానని భారతదేశ సార్వభౌమాధికారాన్ని సమగ్రతను కాపాడుతానని తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర మంత్రిగా నా కర్తవ్యాలను శ్రద్ధతో అంతఃకరణ శుద్ధితో నిర్వహిస్తానని భయం గాని పక్షపాతం గాని రాగద్వేషాలు కానీ లేకుండా రాజ్యాంగాన్ని శాసనాలను అనుసరించి ప్రజలందరికీ న్యాయం చేకూరుస్తానని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
అనే నేను
బట్టి విక్రమార్క అనే నేను తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర మంత్రిగా నా పరిశీలనకు వచ్చిన లేదా నాకు తెలియవచ్చిన ఏ విషయాన్ని నా కర్తవ్యాలని సక్రమంగా నిర్వహించేందుకు అవసరమైన మేరకు తప్ప ప్రత్యక్షంగా కానీ పరోక్షంగా కానీ ఏ వ్యక్తికి లేదా వ్యక్తులకి తెలియపరచనని లేదా వెల్లడించనని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
శ్రీ నలమడ ఉత్తమ్ కుమార్ రెడ్డి గారు. అనే నేను
ఉత్తమ్ కుమార్ రెడ్డి అనే నేను శాసనం ద్వారా నిర్మితమైన భారత రాజ్యాంగం పట్ల నిజమైన విశ్వాసం విధేయత చూపుతానని భారతదేశ సార్వభౌమాధికారాన్ని సమగ్రతను కాపాడుతానని తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర మంత్రిగా నా కర్తవ్యాలను శ్రద్ధతో అంతఃకరణ శుద్ధితో నిర్వహిస్తానని భయం గాని పక్షపాతం గాని రాగద్వేషాలకు గాని లేకుండా రాజ్యాంగాన్ని శాసనాలను అనుసరించి ప్రజలందరికీ న్యాయం చేకూరుస్తానని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
అనే నేను
ఉత్తమ్ కుమార్ రెడ్డి అనే నేను తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర మంత్రిగా నా పరిశీలనకు వచ్చిన లేదా నాకు తెలియవచ్చిన ఏ విషయాన్ని నా కర్తవ్యాలను సక్రమంగా నిర్వహించేందుకు అవసరమైన మేరకు తప్ప ప్రత్యక్షంగా గాని పరోక్షంగా గాని ఏ వ్యక్తికి లేదా వ్యక్తులకు తెలియపరచనని లేదా వెల్లడించని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
శ్రీ దామోదర్ రాజ నరసింహ గారు. అనే నేను
I see Damodar Rajanarasimha, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, that I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge my duties as Minister for the State of Telangana, that I will do right to all manner of people in accordance with Constitution and the law without fear, favor, affection or ill will.
అనే నేను
I see Damodar Rajanarasimha to swear in the name of God that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person or persons any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as Minister for the State of Telangana except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Minister. Thank you. Thank you.
శ్రీ కోమటిరెడ్డి వెంకటరెడ్డి గారు అనే నేను
కోమటిరెడ్డి వెంకటరెడ్డి అనే నేను శాసనం ద్వారా నిర్మితమైన భారత రాజ్యాంగం పట్ల నిజమైన విశ్వాసం విధేయత చూపుతానని భారతదేశ సార్వభౌమాధికారాన్ని సమగ్రతను కాపాడుతానని తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర మంత్రిగా నా కర్తవ్యాలను శ్రద్ధతో అంతఃకరణ శుద్ధితో నిర్వహిస్తానని భయం కానీ పక్షపాతం కానీ రాగద్వేషాలు కానీ లేకుండా రాజ్యాంగాన్ని శాసనాలను అనుసరించి ప్రజలందరికీ న్యాయం చేకూరుస్తానని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
Well, as we see that we have Revanth Reddy as well as Batti Vikramakar, who has in fact gone ahead and taken their oath of office and oath of secrecy as well, and followed by Uttam Reddy and the others from the cabinet that we would see forming in this particular direction. K.S. Prasad, what are your first impressions of this probable cabinet that you see being formed in Telangana under the Congress, and how do you see this cabinet's strengths as well as weaknesses?
No, it's a good move by Congress. All seniors have been given a priority in the cabinet. So some sort of unevenness will be solved to an extent. Otherwise, there will be a lot of ruckus between the seniors and Revanth Reddy. That was properly managed by the Congress hierarchy, and all AICC has focused more on that. Even after they're taking some time, it has given a very good result, and I have seen the bright faces with a jubilation and a smile as far as seniors are concerned. Before that, we used to hear a lot of stories about Uttam Kumar Reddy and Batti Vikramarka sir, and these are all people who are really not happy with this thing. And suddenly, 5 deputy CMs situation has also occurred, and then later it has resolved to 1 deputy CM. These are all things. It's a good move which was done by AICC, and particularly Sonia Gandhi ji and Rahul and Priyanka ma'am both are given a lot of priorities to the seniors. That's why now it's a balance of act. I can proudly say that.
It's a balancing act, as you say. Bhanuchandra, how do you in fact see this completely? Is it a balancing act, a cabinet that you see that is now in formation? The challenge is that you have to politically ensure that it's got a kind of a balance. At the same time, regional aspirations, at the same time, community aspirations, all have to be incorporated. How do you see the cabinet?
Yeah, this thing is already this Nizamabad and Adilabad has not given any priority as far as this particular 10 states, 10 districts are concerned. And coming into this, the equation, the one and only Dudil Sridhar Babu is happened to be a Brahmin community. And Kunda Surika ji, she's from Padmasali community. The others are, as usual, SCSTs. It's a good move by AICC that we're choosing senior leaders and giving a lot of consideration. Now the challenge is what sort of portfolios they're about to get. This is what the hypothetical equations, and overall get very good bench as a cabinet. And particularly Home Minister will be taken by either Batti sir or Uttam sir. I don't know who will be. And apart from all that, the IT is the biggest challenge. If I'm really looking, the most eligible person is Mr. Sridhar Babu only out of all these spaces. And this the IT flourishment which was taking in Hyderabad, which with the different shapes and a lot of revenue has been generated. This is the biggest challenge, whomever they accept, and the acceptance from the respective world, how they are going to consider this Congress government for the flourishment of IT sector.
Well, Banu, how do you in
Around
fact
two
see
lakh
the...
35,000 crores, what we anticipated before March, and fortunately we are reaching to the landmark of
Right,
1.97 crores so
right,
far,
Mr.
one lakh
Prasad.
97,000 crores.
Right. I'm just asking
So,
Mr. Banu also about the cabinet. This. How do you see in fact
yes.
this?
So I think I agree with the previous panelist. See, Revanth is the CM, but he has just joined the Congress 6 years ago. So I think there are a lot of seniors before him who had to be accommodated, and you see that those spaces have been accommodated. In fact, just to quell the negotiations, I think the DK Shivakumar and the political manager Sunil Kanagalu, they parlayed with the national leadership to make the swearing-in ceremony actually go ahead fast, so that these negotiations don't become bitter. So I think that is a good move by the Congress. Second thing is they have a Dalit face, Mr. Vikramarka as the deputy CM, which is a good move. But a couple of things to note here is there are no minority faces here. What I read is the lot of Muslim votes have moved from AMMIM and other parties and even BRS to the Congress, which have been instrumental in the victory. I don't see a minority face there. And second thing is, Rahul Gandhi spoke about Jitni Abadi, Utni Haq. So you just have only 2 of the 12 people that are swearing in today as women. And there should be 50% or at least 33%. It's now like 16%. So I think there is an issue there. But all said and done, I think what happens from now in terms of even cabinet allocation, portfolio allocation, I think that is going to be the next biggest challenge. We have to see how very strong leaders such as the Komati Reddy, Venkat Reddy, and his brother is also a very powerful politician. How he's accommodated, what portfolio is he given? Like what the previous panelists were saying, who's going to be the IT minister, because the previous regime had the young and energetic KTR, who was actually doing a very good job of marketing. All said and done, another important thing is, see, Telangana is a very highly urbanized state. More than 50% is urbanized. So, lot of urban infrastructure has to be developed. And with the guarantees out there, how are they going to get money is one thing. And second, last point before I finishes, inflation in Telangana is higher than national average. It's around like 5% in India, the 6% in Telangana, mostly because they have higher VAT for petrol and diesel. So if they try to reduce the inflation, then they will fall short of the numbers that are required, revenue numbers that are required for implementation. So how do they manage all of these things is something that we have to wait and see. But there are a couple of points that are going for the Congress, which is that it doesn't, the opposition, which is BRS, it's around 40, it's not close to 50, which will sort of keep them on the tenterhooks. And also I think Hyderabad is very important politically for Congress. So in terms of resources, in terms of power, going up to 2024 elections. So I think the incentives are aligned that way for the Congress. Back to you.
All right. And one thing that is, in fact, as you rightly pointed out, is about Hyderabad. I was asking the same question a little while before that. What does it mean? I mean, every aspect of Telangana's question has been about Hyderabad being the only economic generating region for the state. I mean, it's high time that they moved out of it. So do you think that that's going to be a challenge first? Because every time you're looking at Hyderabad for revenues for the entire state, trying to take up the entire load is going to be on Hyderabad. Do you think there could be any other, there was an attempt to in fact get each district into some kind of industrialization or to be recognized with some kind of industrialization. But how do you think that challenge could be met? Banu.
Yeah, so I think it's a vexing issue because they have put all the money. The previous government has put all the money on developing Hyderabad, and it came up again and again. So in fact, the higher unemployment. Again, Telangana has higher unemployment than national average, around 4.5% compared to 3.2 in India. This is also because of the rural distress, people moving to Hyderabad. And you see, during the campaign, you saw both KTR and Rahul Gandhi interacting with the gig workers. The gig workers are basically classified as unemployed because they are obviously not in the roles of companies. So it is a big problem, and frankly, like the only party, in fact, the only person that I know who spoke about unemployment was Prime Minister Modi when he said that like if the BJP came to power, he would actually increase the number of people hired as Class A and Class B employees and so on. So I think unemployment is a big deal. Yeah.
Right. We have, in fact, the swearing in taking place. We're just cutting into LB Stadium as well.
భారతదేశ సార్వభౌమాధికారాన్ని సమగ్రతను కాపాడుతానని తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర మంత్రిగా నా కర్తవ్యాలను శ్రద్ధతో అంతఃకరణ శుద్ధితో నిర్వహిస్తానని భయం గాని పక్షపాతం గాని రాగద్వేషాలు గాని లేకుండా రాజ్యాంగాన్ని శాసనాలను అనుసరించి ప్రజలందరికీ న్యాయం చేకూరుస్తానని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను నేను శ్రీమతి కొండా సురేఖ అనే నేను తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర మంత్రిగా నా పరిశీలనకు వచ్చినా లేదా నాకు తెలియవచ్చినా ఏ విషయాన్ని నా కర్తవ్యాలను సమగ్రంగా నిర్వహించేందుకు అవసరమైన మేరకు తప్ప పరోక్షంగా గాని ప్రత్యక్షంగా గాని ఏ వ్యక్తికి లేదా వ్యక్తులకు తెలియపరచనని లేదా వెల్లడించడని దైవ సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
Well, looks like we have the first woman minister for the cabinet as such, and we were just speaking about that, Banu, you were just talking about it. But women representation, Mr. Prasad, do you think that that is something, a big question mark being raised, especially when we're talking about 33% reservation, adequate enough or could have been better?
Yeah, it's compared to the earlier government, it is a very good move. We can see a face of Konda Surekama. Compared to earlier cabinet, there is no role for women segment at all. And this time, fortunately, they have created an opportunity for Konda Surekha. And there will be a lot of deputy CMs. We're really looking forward to have more. And whatever the 33% women reservation bill was passed, and this time, Sitaka is also there. There are two cabinet places for us. And I forgot about our Sitaka. She is very famous in our this thing as far as service is concerned. These two are typical characters as far as their background is from Naxalism, and later they emerged into the democracy, and the people's considerations are very high for these two characters, and their family is also committed to the people around. And about all this, whatever the revenues have been generated from Hyderabad, Mr. Banu is also very clearly told. We are not supposed to forget about the 10 districts, out of which 7 districts for Greater Hyderabad. This is the 200 kilometers more than radius, sharing with 7 districts. So the development centrally is happening in Hyderabad, even after with 7 districts. So the revenue generation is taking place from all the territories, and with the women empowerment in cabinet, will definitely do wonders as far as Telangana is concerned.
Well, Banu, again, do you, with two representatives for women, adequate enough? And as Prasad was saying, better than what was in the previous government?
Yeah, so better than what was the previous government doesn't cut the ice, unfortunately. Because, like, see, we are still in the old era of, like, having a token women representation. Like, it should be 50%. Okay, if not 50%, make it higher. Make a deliberate move. But having said that, the two women, especially Sitaka, very highly respected and highly revered in Telangana, is getting her due. So, like, pretty happy for her. But I think it should definitely increase a lot. And I think this Hyderabad obsession, fair enough. Now you have a world-class city. Definitely even among the South Indian metros, I think the best is Hyderabad. So I think the obsession is sort of visible. But before Chandrababu Naidu was thrown out of power in the early 2000s because he was called as the Chief Minister of Hyderabad, and I think TRS also did the same mistake. So I think 2 times the lesson has been given by the people to the leaders. Let's see what they do with those lessons this time.
Well, of course, we have the swearing in still continuing at LB Stadium. We did see, of course, the kind of presentation that is there in the cabinet, trying to balance the regions, the communities, and of course, the aspirations that are there on the ground as well. We have popular leaders, all of them coming up and chosen from a cream of leaders for this position. And how do you think that the impact of this is going to be for the BRS? Because the BRS, the erstwhile TRS, was claiming completely on the fact that Telangana was from their struggle. So for them, sitting in the opposition, how do you think that new role is going to set in for a party that's been in power for almost 10 years? Banu?
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how they behave. And a couple of things. One is, how are they going to face the elections? The next elections is something they will be very concerned about. Also, given the fact that there's a case, criminal case, the liquor case against Kavita. So I think that will be playing in their minds. So I think BJP has sort of is having BRS exactly at the place where it wants to be, because you can actually manipulate BRS with these things, and so this is also like, there are MLAs that will elect the Rajya Sabha MP. So this is also an election for Rajya Sabha indirectly. So I think BJP is in a good position to manipulate BRS with the numbers that they have there. So we have to see how BRS also evolves from here. Like is it going to move beyond KCR? Is KTR going to take over? All of those things we have to see.
Well, K.S. Prasad, your reading on how the BRS will move into the opposition role?
Yeah, now it's the biggest challenge to the speaker rather than chief minister and cabinet. The strongest opposition, around 54 from various parties like MIM, BJP, and as well as BRS. And as a biggest challenge for BRS, being an opposition of 39 members, and they conquered the Hyderabad territory, which was absolutely not in their pocket previously. And they used to struggle a lot in the Greater Hyderabad radius and some parts of Dakshin Telangana and all. Ulta palta, just like, Congress used to have a lot of power in these particular territories, and this time it is for BRS. And all of a sudden, people's recognition is also for BRS as far as the development is concerned, what they've done. They're given a consideration by giving 18 seats plus in Telangana, where now the role of opposition needs to be justified with a vitality, like what sort of developments, what they have promised, and how they are taken forward from the last 10 years for the sake of Bangar Telangana. The monotony, if it is we got break by Congress, it is their duty to come into their rescue, and they have to give their voice towards what sort of path they have created. If path is being deviated, what sort of ruckus will take place. These things they need to address in the floor of the house, and they see through that the development shouldn't stop. This is what the biggest challenge for BRS.
Well, Bhanuchandra, now the biggest test for the Telangana Congress will be 2024 elections. They have been riding on this wave. They will try to have that spillover effect at any cost and even maximize it. How do you think they are poised for 2024?
See, 2024 resource-wise, they are better off because they had Bangalore before. Now they have both Bangalore and Hyderabad. So I think it is good for them. But as I said before, with a slender majority, it has to be seen how they keep the flock together. I think it is going to be a big deal. We are underestimating that. So there are already talks of who is going to be the Shinde of the Congress government. And so there are a few candidates already there, and Revanth will be looking behind his shoulders all the time to keep the flock together. Let's see how that affects the governance so far, and also the big court cases there. The result are going to come out on
there we have
January.
Just a moment. In LB Stadium, we have of course the newly inducted Chief Minister with his family having a word with Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, and Priyanka Gandhi, as well as the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Siddaramaiah is also there. DK Shivakumar is also there on the dais. Just an informal meeting on the stage with the Chief Minister's family, and of course many of them coming out and giving their congratulations to Revanth Reddy, as well as the newly sworn in ministers. All of them now having the picture with the Governor Tamilisai Soundararajan, and then we have Uttam Reddy also there on the stage. The big picture of the new cabinet of the Congress being taken at the LB Stadium in Hyderabad. There we have the live visuals coming in. cabinet, which is said to be a mix of regions, equations of seniors within the Congress, and also an attempt to ensure that all regions are represented, though some say that there could be more wanting in it. But however, almost all regions of the state being represented here, and Tamilisai Soundarajan, in fact, swearing in all the newly inducted cabinet ministers, and of course all of them having a word.
Honorable Governor, Madam, I may kindly be permitted to conclude the ceremony, please. Yeah, with the permission of the Honorable Governor, Madam, I conclude this ceremony. All rise for the national anthem, please.
దయచేసి అందరు లేచి నిలబడండి.
Well, that is the new cabinet that has been sworn in Telangana. D.K. Shivakumar also giving a hug to Revanth Reddy, the Chief Minister of Telangana.
గౌరవనీయులైన రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారికి హృదయపూర్వక శుభాకాంక్షలు. ఇప్పుడు ఆనరబుల్ సీఎం గారు, ఆనరబుల్ గవర్నర్ గారికి వీడుకోలు తెలిపి మళ్ళీ వేదికపైకి వస్తారు. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఆల్ ద డిగ్నిటీస్ ఆన్ ద డయాస్ టు బి అవైలబుల్ ఆన్ ద డయాస్ ప్లీజ్. గౌరవనీయులైన గవర్నర్ గారికి హృదయపూర్వక ధన్యవాదాలు. డాక్టర్ తమిళిసై సౌందరరాజన్ గారు పదవీ ప్రమాణ స్వీకారం చేయించారు ముఖ్యమంత్రి చేతను, ఇంకా మంత్రివర్యుల చేత.
Well, that was in fact the governor being escorted out by the new Chief Minister of Telangana, and of course the question that Banu, I had to cut you short just because the visuals were in fact coming in. I just stopped you short of that. You were in fact answering on whether they have the resources and how they are poised for 2024. Go ahead.
Yeah, another important challenge is if you look at the BJP campaign, they were actually, it seems as if they were conducting a separate campaign altogether with the focus on backward caste CM and a subquota for Madigas and so on. So I'm yet to see how those narratives have translated into votes. And also, like, you know, in the cabinet that was just sworn in, I see more Reddys than BCs. My fellow panelists can correct me if I'm wrong. So I think how those caste equations, how those numbers play out is something that needs to be seen. And also, if you look at BJP, has also increased its vote share from 7% to 14%, and they had a 13 percentage point bump from the 2018 assembly elections to Lok Sabha elections. So if you have a similar bump, they are looking at around 25% vote share. So that is the biggest threat for the Congress. Because like BRS's vote share usually reduces during parliament elections because it's a regional party. So the Congress is going to face up to the fact that there is going to be a 25% vote share for BJP, possibly C3 Pariva. So we have to see how they contend with it. And also BJP has lost its momentum. In fact, Bandi Sanjay lost. So how BJP also comes up again, if it's resurgent or not, is something that needs to be seen. So I think we are in for some very interesting times in Telangana politics.
In for some interesting days. K.S. Prasad, of course, I was asking that big challenge would be 2024 for this nascent party in Telangana as of now, because they have just come to power and they have put their cabinet together. The big challenge for them would be for the Lok Sabha elections, trying to ensure that the MPs are also swayed into the Congress camp. So how do you in fact see this particular aspect?
Yeah, that's what the primary challenge for Congress is to retain the MPs bare minimum of 11 plus out of the 17 what we have. MIM anyway, they wins the battle in one. So remaining 16, they need to win a bare minimum of 11 plus. Otherwise, the role from southern states needs to be played in the national part for particularly Congress. That Karnataka and Telangana needs to fill that blanks. Otherwise, it's very difficult. But as far as BJP is concerned, in the inability of BRS, they'll definitely plays a vital role. If you really look at it, they won almost 8 seats from their 4 parliament constituencies. About 7 out of 7, them almost they won 2 each in 4 segments. What they have in parliament pocket. Coming into this 24 elections, how they are going to justify this is the biggest challenge for BJP, because from 6% to almost 14.7%, they have enhanced the vote bank. Compared to Congress and BJP, BRS, what they have fought, their play is right now at below 40%. If they want to increase, the increasing probabilities will be more and more for BJP compared to these two. Because of ruling this thing, I have really witnessed Rajasthan, this thing. At the time of parliament, even after forming the state government, they just failed to conquer the parliament segment seats in Rajasthan. This is what, if it repeats in Telangana, this is the biggest setback for Congress. That's why they need to focus more on particularly Telangana, and they will also see through that Karnataka should also repeat number of seats as far as parliament segments are concerned.
Well, in fact, there Sonia Gandhi as well as Rahul Gandhi now making their exit along with the other dignitaries who had come in. Mallikarjun Kharge also there. They have all making the exit after the swearing-in ceremony that took place at LB Stadium, waving at the crowds who had gathered in the stadium for that swearing-in ceremony. A lot of them, in fact, asking that one crucial question as to how the things would be in 2024. But right now, the Congress is in power in Telangana. Revanth Reddy has sworn in as its second chief minister.
I request all of you to...
Well, that's all in this edition of the Bulletin. Stay tuned to News 9 for further updates.
With all this gear, you must be wondering if I'm climbing a mountain. Well, let me give you a wider look of this place. This is Asia's largest mountain of shame.
A mountain of waste, almost the height of the Qutub Minar.